thing's start video transmission. I don't know why it's doing this. There we go. All right, so welcome to the stream. Today we are going to be streaming an edit for a landscaping company. I just shot all of this morning, and it was only drone footage, so we have a good bit of stuff to go through. I think there's 21 drone shots total. Some of them are a couple minutes long, which I usually don't do very long drone shots, but that was the only camera that we had today. And I put a 128 gigabyte, SD card in there, so we were ready to rock and roll. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in and do a new sequence, and I'm just going to make sure that this is matching what I want. And I want 1080 by 1920. I want, here we go, 1080 by 1920, because this is going to be a phone style advertisement. So we're going to do that. I want to keep it at that frame rate. So cool. Hit OK. Got our thing. Perfecto. And then I found this music offline. Let's see if I can get that pulled up here. I actually don't think it's going to show you that. So let's see if I can change this real quick, because I want to shout out this. How do I do this, bro? I don't know. Anyways, it is from a website called Pixabay. Interesting. But let's do this really quick. I don't know why that's doing that. It's from a website called Pixabay. Let's do, this should work here. Here we go. Perfect. Alright, let's drag this over. So this right here is the website and the song that we have. So there we go. Pixabay, free marketing ads, background music. Perfect. So that's what we're using today. Thank goodness, because I really needed something, and we got it. So we're gonna go ahead and drop that music in here. It's a minute long. We only need 30 seconds or so, but let's have a listen to it and kind of see where we want to pull it in. I kind of like that snap part coming in. Which it looks like it comes in right about here. So let's go to here, and let's go ahead and cut this out, because I don't think we'll need that. This song's going to be really good for cutting on the beat, which is going to be really nice. I'm just realizing how loud that probably is for y'all. So let's pull it down a little bit. Okay. Doesn't change much throughout, it seems like. I want a Red Bull sponsor for these edit streams. That would be so nice. Alright. I almost died. I like the... Can we zoom, please? There we go. Goodness gracious. Why is that not working? I like the ending. Okay. I definitely like that. And luckily, and this kind of song is like perfect. Whoever made this, I mean, it's just fantastic. Like, I wish I could make something like this because it's simple, but it's like deceiving. It's like you'd think, oh, I could make this. I couldn't. I know I couldn't. But um, it's simple, so it's like easy to cut around, and it's like a perfect editing song. It's upbeat. It's got perfect defined beats for you to cut on, to add your exciting shots and stuff like that. But it's also like I can cut this right here, and I can move it in somewhere else in here to make my 30 seconds and be just fine. So that's it. Did I not? Oh, okay, no, I didn't zoom it, scoot it down. I was about to say, how the heck are we at 40 or 50 seconds still? All right, so let's go in here. Let's see kind of where the 30-second mark is. So let's go back to that. Let's go to 26. And we're just going to count down the frames here. So we took it from 30 frames down. So let's see. This is going to go. Let's move this guy out of our way. And let's go to the end here and see what we've got. Okay, so this is more or less the end. Oh, that ends right on 29 seconds. But we don't really get any audio from around 28 seconds. So, if we do this, let's take this out, make that a 0, 0, and we'll make this a 30. So we want to be sure we're getting our time's worth. So let's go to there. First off, let's mark this. I want to mark that. So I just hit M on the keyboard if you're not familiar with that shortcut. Just hitting M on the keyboard gives us our little marker here. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to stretch this back out, and we're going to just hope that it all kind of goes together. So we're going to listen to it real quick, and if not, we'll make our adjustments. Okay, I don't know if that kind of caught you off guard or not, but I don't hate it. I don't know if it caught me off guard or if it did, so I'm going to listen to it one more time. I think it's catching me off guard a little. So let's cover that with this. Okay, I like that. How do y'all feel on that? I think I actually like that a lot. I'm really happy with that. So, and that puts us at what, 6 frames off of, so we can have our logo there. And I mean, we're gonna have our logo there anyways, but it'll be fading in, and that'll give us like 6 frames or so for it to stay open on. And I want it to stay open on that because I don't do the looping thing. It's not a social media ad. It is a social media ad. It's not a social media post. It doesn't need to be trendy and viral. So the looping thing isn't the most important thing in my opinion for this. What we want to do is sell sell the importance and sell the business. So I'm gonna have the logo pop up there at the end, and instead of, I mean, maybe we could circle it back into a logo at the on the on the end there, but to the beginning, but I'm not super concerned on that. So let's go ahead and start getting some stuff done. So we'll cut into here and just take a look at this shot here. So we've got them kind of unloading everything. We're coming around. We've got our logo there with our phone number, so that's very important, obviously. And that's not bad. So we got them kind of kickstarting everything. It's not a kickstart, but you know what I mean. I just use that as a phrase. So let's go ahead. Let's drag and drop this in and see how that looks real quick. So we do luckily have a little bit of push-in room. So about right there. should be fine. And should we straighten it out? I don't have a ton of push-in room because I'm not filming in 4K. But I'm also not filming in 1920 by 1080. So we are downsized a little bit in our timeline, which is helpful. So, okay, I like that. I like that a lot. This song, I'm actually super excited about this song. Like, it's just going very well with like advertisement type of thing that I feel like I would see. Um, so we could go with that here. Now I think I want on that, I kind of want a cut or something different. So let's put some keyframes in here. I'm going to grab these keyframes and drag them to the front. What I want to see from this point in the video is I want to see a little bit more of what's going on over here. So let's see how that looks with the keyframes. Yeah, I don't like that very much. I don't like how it moved straight off the bat like that, because then we're already 10 frames in and we're losing the phone number. So I'm not stoked on that. So we can mess with this a little bit. Let's get rid of our keyframes. Okay, wait. No, it didn't do that. I was going to get rid of our keyframes and see how much of the phone number could we see without it. But it's alright. So that's not too bad. But I don't want it that long. What if I cut on those sounds? So, alright, now let's look at this one. What does this one look like? Because maybe it would be a better choice to go with this. Actually, I might like this one more, to be honest, because we don't have... Oh, don't do that. We don't have the entire screen to work with anyways, so let's go like that. It kind of unveils, and we've got the fall leaves on the ground. We've got them in the background here. So let's kind of see how that looks real quick. Let's throw it in the same spot as this guy. Let's get it framed up. So I think that was what, 178? Yep. So now let's move this over. Okay, so we're... I wish I didn't say so much. I'm sorry about that, but I guess I do. We've got our phone number not fitting here. Let's see what we can get. We can afford to start from farther away. Because we're rolling into the phone number. We'll do that. How much wiggle room do I have? Not very much. So let's try 200. Let's see what we get for that. 200. I think my pause resolution is at half. Okay. So let's turn that to full. Basically, when it's on there, it's just going to show me like how blurry it looks, and I don't like the way that looks. So we're not going to go with 200. We're going to go with 178 still. And we're going to pull that back up to the top and move this over. Yep. Okay. So now let's have a look. And see, that's a lot better. It's a lot less muddy. Yeah, so we're going to go with that. I wish we didn't have to, but it's okay. I do want the first shot to be steady like that. And I also don't want it to be crooked. And unfortunately... Oh, no, okay, we made that work, right? Nope. Bummer. So this needs to extend a bit. There we go. Nope. One more. Let's go one more up. Because I think we have a little bit of the corners that we're showing. Okay, perfect. So now we've got that. Let's drop our position there. And let's roll through here, see what we're getting. So now we're getting a lot of negative space on the right. I don't want negative space on the right. There's no action on the right. We have our guys and our company truck on the left. So we're going to want to try and keep that phone number in as best as possible while also trying to keep the camera on the truck and the guys and everything like that. So we're not centering our camera. We are just trying to make sure that it is... Alright, let's see. Let's go back to here. So that one's got maybe a little tiny bit of... Nope. No, it doesn't actually. Let's go to the next one. And it's coming up a little bit, so we'll drop it down some. Go to the next one, and it's coming up a bit, so we'll drop it down some. And finally, this one, and drop it down some. So it's kind of like a reveal here. So I think that looks pretty good. What do y'all think? Yeah, I like that. So I still want it to cut out at the same spot. What are we losing by doing that? So we could bring it in some. Let's take this to... Let's grab all of these. Let's move this some this way. Cool. Now let's drag this to here. Drag that in. And that gives us a better starting place. Yeah. I mean, I think that's good. I think that's really good. So we'll cut it to there, and we'll delete that. We can leave that space, it's fine. So, alright. First shot down. Goodness gracious. Oh crap, we do have... Well, actually, that shot doesn't look very usable because we have the drop like that, but... and it's very overexposed. So we're going to leave that shot. I don't want it. We can do this. Let's see. We've got them climbing up the ladder. We could start it about here. And we could do like a boom, boom, boom kind of thing. Especially because it looks like I did not get... wasn't able to keep the drone on them as well as I would have preferred. So, we'll do that. Let's play through here, see what we've got. Let's cut to... We could cut to that. Now let's cut to some action here. Alright. So, try this. Ah, that's the thing that's a bummer. Trying to line up your shots, like, is so obvious on a drone. And I do hate that way that looks, because it's like that gimbal look. It's just not a natural, like, because I mean that's what the camera's attached to on the drone. It's attached to a gimbal. Why is... Oh, because I have that layer hidden. I was waiting for it to load in. I was like, why the heck is that not working? But, you know, if you've ever used a gimbal, like, it's the same kind of thing, and it doesn't really look very appealing. But you gotta make it work. So let's cut this down to 178 again, because I don't want it all the way zoom. Goodness gracious. I always grab the wrong one. There we go. So we got them going up the thing here. So let's do. We've got here. We've got a. Where's the second one? I can't really tell. Oh, okay, so that's the first one. The first one's right there. So it's not even in the spot that I thought it was. So it's these little peaks. So we're gonna pull that in. Do I want to lose those couple frames? Does it really make a difference? Not really. So let's cut that down to there. So now we can come into this spot here, snip it, clip it, trim it, pull that down. Sound like a hairdresser. Snip it, trip it, clip it, clip. Snip it, clip it, trim it. I got that messed up. Alright, so let's pull this down so that we got like that kind of thing is kind of what I'm looking for. So is there a significant visual difference here? Yeah, there's a pretty good one. I think we could get more. So let's try and get it with a footstep also. So it's like a bunch of visual cues going with the music. So we'll have this here. Yeah. And then we'll do another one here. We can do him up on the roof at this one. So we'll go beyond where, okay, maybe not. Where is my shot? Here it is. So, did I get him climbing up on the roof at all, really? Yeah, I mean, we have him here, so let's do that. Yeah, we're gonna take this shot for now. So we got that. And then we need here about, I think. Yeah, perfect. So that's what we're looking for, is more like something like that. Let's scale this to 178. And what we're gonna do is keep it all there. Make sure that visually we've got a pretty similar spot. So we're looking right here. Let's kind of center this up right there. So when we get to here, we can come over a little bit. So let's do that right there. And I would say we'll come down, but we can't. And that one's pretty close. I mean, that's the same shot as this one anyway, so it should be. Alright, let's get rid of these grids because I don't like them in my way. Cool. Now we can drag this down quite a bit, just to there. Now we've just got that shot, so that's perfect. So we've got there. Let's go ahead and cut that out. So it looks like it's the beginning's like peak, and then the rest of the sound is that kind of resonating. So we'll go with it here, I think. I hate to go before the sound, but it looks like that's going to be our best bet for matching it. I'll go here. Let's see, what have we got on the extension of this? I don't have to use these, and I may not, because I'm ready to get into like him working to show it off. So we'll do that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these two clips And what we're going to do is jump into him actually blowing leaves around. So we can go with this shot. Right there, we'll start it. We got that. So right before the gimbal turn thing, we'll go to the very end of that, like a frame before. Pull that. I said pull that. Oh, perfect. And look how much, look how much shot that gives us. Like, that's more than enough for, for what we're working with right here. So, 178 once again. Let's get it all big up on the screen. Pull him in the center here. And then what we want is okay, actually we don't want him in the center of the screen because of the leaves. I forgot about that kind of. So we're gonna kind of loosely follow like what's our rule of thirds. You don't really use rule of thirds so much in the vertical mode like this, but we're gonna go with it for now. For right now, what I do want to do is keyframe, and then as the leaves blow, let's blow the camera that way too. So do like this. And then off right there. Boom. So let's see how that looks. So one thing I don't really like is when the camera stops moving. So that's better. We also have that gimbal movement. So, okay. It's a little better. Gosh, that shot's just like, I might not actually use that shot because it's pretty, like, mangly from the exposure and stuff like that. Like, it just wasn't, I didn't expose it very well, it looks like. So I kind of have like a little bit of a quality drop look in that, and it looks like it could be out of focus a little bit too. So we can try to adjust that and kind of see what we get, see what we like out of that. The whole thing I'm kind of going to color correct together, but we can just kind of mess with this stuff a little bit first. So let's bring our shadows up a tad. Let's bring the blacks down a little to about there. Before and after, before and after. So let's have a look. Before, after, before, after. I think it gives it a little bit better tone. We'll stick with it for now. We might just end up replacing this shot because I'm not so sure I like it. Anyways, all right, let's get to some other shots here and see what we've got. So let's look through here. This was a pretty hard job trying to like avoid all these limbs and stuff. So, you know, we not my greatest drone camera piloting for sure. Because of that, there's some limitations and things that I'm not quite used to, like flying it through the trees so heavily and stuff like that. Unfortunately, where there's the need for blowing leaves off of roofs, there is the need for flying through trees. So, alright, this shot's pretty good. We'll let it play out. This is long, but we're gonna let it kind of play out because I tracked him pretty well, did all of that pretty well, and you get that nice clean look on the roof. So let's grab that. This clip's gonna be a monster compared to the rest of these. So let's drag it and drop it. Drag it, drop it, and crop it. All right. Luckily, we get so much room on the side of these because of the format. So it's very helpful. Let's trim this up to really about right here. Drag this over. We've got Bailey here, so let's do the same kind of thing we did over there, and let's drop our position, drop our scale, and as the leaves get hit, let's whoosh over to here. And then go a couple of more things, and let's just kind of slowly move over, because I want stuff in the center of the frame, but I also want that to not be such an impactful like hit and stop. So let's see. Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was good. I like that. Right? We like that. I like that. So that's cool. Let's go there. And this is only one house, so we have another house that we got as well. Did that go with the music? Why does it feel like it's not going with the music? I want it to cut there. It feels like it's overstayed its welcome. So you are unwelcomed. All right. Delete the rest of that clip because we really don't need it, because what I want to do is look through here. I'm kind of going too linear right now. We need to take a look at our other shots and kind of see what we like. So like we got some parallax here. Look at that action pose there from Bailey, like a whole action figure. So we'll do this here. So let's see. Okay, I like that. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with that, I think. Let's do it. So the tree's not even going to come into our framing until really about right there. So let's cut to there. We got our parallax. We can use that as a transition point. So why don't we do that? Transition to the next house using that. So let's drag this in. Okay, let's drag this in. There we go. Big it up. So 178. Cool. See, tree's just right there. So we'll get there to, okay. So now what we're going to do, this is going to be super boring, but it's fun. The results are fun, not the doing it. But if you're unfamiliar with keyframing, rotoscoping, and creating masks and stuff, it is not the most fun thing in the world, because you are just kind of manually putting dots on stuff. You don't have to. I could throw it into After Effects, but I don't feel that After Effects is worth it for this clip. So what we're going to do is I'm going to mark the clip. So I clicked on the clip and then hit M. That way I personally know where my start point is. So what we're going to do is take our opacity pen tool, not the one under anything else if you have any other effects that have a pen tool, but the opacity one, click it and it'll create a mask. And what I want to do is just, I'm going to put a few keyframes here, not keyframes, a few masking points here. And then I really don't need many on this side. We'll add a couple just in case I need to do anything else. But you really don't need many over on your other sides. So we'll do that. Now what we're going to do, invert. So what's happening is we're losing our mask. We do not need to invert it because I did this the wrong way. If we were going to invert it, we just pull these keyframes over and then line them up with the sides of the tree and stuff. But since we're not going to do that, we need to unclick invert. We need to skip a frame forward. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our keyframes here. Not keyframes. My goodness, why do I keep calling them keyframes? We're going to take our masking points. And if they work well with us, which sometimes it happens. Lately in Premiere, my keyframe... oh my goodness, why do I keep saying keyframes? Lately in Premiere, my masking points have not really enjoyed working with me. So that happens a lot. It's just like the pin tool. Like, luckily, the tree kind of is following that path. So we're actually in a decent position right now. But it just kind of, I don't know why it does that. One thing I did forget to show you. Right here, stopwatches to create your keyframes. Maybe that's why my brain was thinking keyframes so much, because I was skipping. Click and make a keyframe. So obviously I've already moved the mask a little bit and then created my first keyframe. So I'm going to have to do it a little bit in reverse. Let's pull this over. Is it covering? Yep, we're good. So I'm going to have to do it a little in reverse. So now let's go back to normal. And let's pull our keyframe out of there. Cool. I guess we're going to have a rounded thing. But so what'll happen is that basically I want to pull this to the first spot because we don't want it to, if you see how it's kind of slowly fading in? That's what we want to happen for the rest of the shots. We don't want that to happen right now because it's going to pull in before you're ready for it. So what we want to do is go one keyframe before and put nothing there so that it immediately snaps to position because that's following the frame rate of our shot. So now we'll go to the next frame. We've got this guy. Ah, goodness gracious. Why is this not working for me? We could just do this, to be honest. Nah, it's not gonna work. Okay, there we go. It's about time. Now it's let me grab the keyframe correctly. Now I'm just gonna kind of use these to our advantage right now since they're forcing my hand. So let's grab that. Grab our mask again. This needs to come down and over just a tad. This guy can move actually. This can probably move. Why? All of the pin tool things, like the little curvy things, I don't know why they just do this to me. Like I used to never have this problem masking, but it just kind of started. Anyways, what we're gonna do is skip to the next frame. We can drag this fella over. We can drag this fella up to there. And we can drag this fella to get it to match our tree arch. Mostly match our tree arch. Let's pull this to here. Alright, and so basically we're just going to repeat these steps. We could probably skip a frame or two. Just to be sure. Oh, maybe not, maybe not. Oh, see that right there? Do you see that? We gotta account for that too. So what we're gonna do is drag this fella up, pull this one in, and let's just give it a little bit of a notch right there. How does that look if we click off? It looks like absolutely nothing happened. So There must be too much of a feather on that part of our... Can I get my mask, please? Whoa, what's going on? Why can't I... Okay, there we go. Yep, it was because of the feather. The feather wasn't allowing us to be that close without giving it a giving it some I don't know what I'm trying to say. Don't listen to me, bro. Let's move this to here. Drag it down a tad. Float that up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just add a new keyframe here, because I don't want to deal with the stupidity of moving around some of these ones that already exist, even though that should be easy. Just, I mean, they're not working clearly, so we're going to do that, then that, then that. So this is where, in my opinion, if I'm thinking of it correctly, this is where keyframing can get quite a bit easier, unless it does whatever the heck it's doing right now. Let's see here. No, son. Why are you doing this? Alright. Come over. Come up. Alright. Cool. Oh my gosh, they all are the crooked little thingies. Bro, I'm about to throw this thing in After Effects, to be honest. I used to not mind, like, doing keyframing like this, but it's becoming a pain. I don't know why it's like this right now. And After Effects, the reason I wanted to avoid using it is because it slows down the computer quite a bit. But basically, if you saw in this first couple of, that's what we're doing. So that everything that's in that black space there is going to be another shot underneath. So we're going to transition from this shot to the next. But unfortunately, I'm going to do what I wasn't trying to do, and we're going to kick open After Effects. Let's get rid of this mask and quiet that down. Now let's do this. So we need to set our in point here. We need to set our out point there. And we need to export this. So export media. You can right click and do replace render with After Effects, or replace clip with After Effects render, something like that. But that doesn't work for me anymore either. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm using an older version of Premiere probably. So let's go to Lincoln 10, Thomas Landscaping, and then let's do a new folder, and we'll title it VFX. Create, save, and turn off our audio because we don't need After Effects to try and load in all the audio and just take extra time. So let's get this to export. Perfect, easy. Maybe. I spoke too soon. Okay, there we go. Good job, Premiere. Perfect. So far we've got a little bit going on. I think we should add some sound effects. We're definitely going to do a little bit of color grading because, like, this is a green logo, and it's very green, honestly, in real life. It's pretty similar to, like, this color scheme here, actually. But we can't see it because it's shaded. And, you know, these colors back here are so vibrant. We need to get a little mask on this or something and track that mask and then color grade. And then these are good. I'm not thrilled still about this particular shot. It looks like somebody's iPhone, to be honest. It looks like an iPhone. And if I was going to get up there and shoot with an iPhone, I would have. So I need to probably replace that one. But we'll see about that in a second. It's part of it too. Oh, my Back hurts on this couch, bro. Part of it too is the zooming in of the clips. The sensor in this drone. Let's see. The sensor within this drone, it's the DJI Mini 2 SE. So the sensor inside of it is not my very favorite sensor. It's very small. I don't even know the megapixel count, to be honest, but you know, it can. Was After Effects just not going to open for me? Can it please open? Let's see. Please open. Did I click? I wonder if it popped up while I was talking and I just clicked it and then just ignored it. Oh, okay. It said, I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but it said you can't open After Effects because it's not responding. Ah, goodness gracious. Alright, we're going to try it again. And hopefully this time it's going to work. I did crash this thing a few times today because of the, you know, branches and stuff. So, I do need to replace a couple of the propellers, but DJI does send with, when I bought this camera last year, I bought it last Black Friday. Well, not on Black Friday, but a couple weeks before. So really about this time last year, and they sent all of these different propellers and then a little screwdriver that's never been opened. Somehow I kept up with. A couple of replacement like things for the controller to hook to your phone. All these replacement propellers right here. So, you know, I've got some. They sent some good stuff with it, as well as the camera or the camera drone itself, plus this like battery pack thing that's got 3 batteries in it. It also works as a phone charger, or a portable charger is what I meant, plus the controller. So, and this little carrying case. So, you know, not a bad deal. I do not want to migrate. Cool. It's working. But back to what I was saying about it though, like the sensor is not my very favorite. It's like very specific conditions for my taste, for it to perform the way that I want it to, in line with some of the other sensors that I have access to. And like, so that can be tricky sometimes, you know. I don't always, like when I first got it, I was excited about it, and then I used it and I was like, oh, does this look bad? The answer was no. I was just using it in situations that didn't quite work. So when you have a really big, what I like about it is when you have a really big subject, like a building or something, and you get those exterior shots, then it works fantastic, I've found. But when you have smaller subjects, I think it has a harder time focusing, and there's not a real great like autofocus type of thing for you to kind of lead it with. It has autofocus, of course, but it's pretty broad, and you can't really like change where it's looking. So I don't know. Oh, dude, my hips are like walking up sitting in this thing. Sorry this is taking so long right now, this whole opening After Effects thing. But hopefully it will. Oh, I'm gonna have to change it to show you After Effects anyways. I don't even have that turned on. Alright, there we go. Perfect. So let's do Mac screen capture. And let's do, let's hide, where did it go? Editor. There we go. Perfect. Now you can see my behind the scenes. Cool. Alright, let's open this guy up. No, go away. Perfect. Let's go with this to shield. No, not shield. T7. Um, grab here, pull the whole thing up. I don't need to work on it from the sideline. That just makes it too difficult. All right, so let's close that up some. Lincolnton, Thomas Landscaping, VFX, and Sequence 1. I thought I renamed that. Maybe I didn't. Come on now. Cool. Drag you and drop you. New composition, double click. Okay, priorities panels, you have new priorities panels. Thank you. All right, now we're gonna go with this here. What's gonna be our easiest way to do this? We could basically highlight everything we want, but I think that's going to, I need this in reverse actually. So, all right, let's see. How can I have never actually reversed anything in Premiere in After Effects. So, where is speed? Not the streamer guy. Effects. What is VFX Mocha? Or I don't know enough about After Effects. I'm sure I would actually love it, but I don't understand it. So the reason I want it in reverse is so that I can basically highlight all of this, and then when it gets to the tree, we can let it go. Oh wait, no. Yeah, and then reverse it. Is that right? I don't know. All right, let's try this first. There's a lot of trial and error in this, so we're just gonna try and see like what we get. So let's do this first. Select everything. Okay. So having this live view on the left is definitely helpful for what we're looking to help us find what we're looking for. Nope. So let's drop. If I'm holding down, I'm on a Mac, obviously. So I hold down Command, and it helps me shrink my thing. I hold down Option, and it switches to the other brush. So I need the negative brush, and I needed it smaller. So if we let this play, I have a feeling it's going to just be cutting out the tree. And that is not exactly what we need. Okay, so that's working so far. Let's go back a couple frames because I saw it kind of cut some other stuff out. So let's go back all the way to make sure. Yeah. Let's grab you. And let's subtract this. Anything you don't subtract is going to pop in and out, and it's going to look really strange. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it do its thing here, trying to do that. So, okay, see there? See how that's doing that? We do not want that. Unfortunately, on my on my right, it's not quite showing me what I need in the same time frame as this one on the left. So we're kind of gonna click through a little bit. Okay, add some stuff. It's having some trouble distinguishing between the bricks and the whatever this is called, branch, limb, branch, whatever. Because of the color and the lighting and stuff, so that's understandable. Let's kind of zoom through, make sure it all looks clean. Yep, looks pretty consistent, looks pretty clean. There, we lost a little bit here to the side of the house. No, oh, I used the wrong brush, guys. My bad. So we're gonna do that. How'd you miss that? Okay, perfect. So now let's keep going. What we got here? All right, we're bringing in the other side of the tree. We lost a little bit of the tree to the sidewalk there, it looks like. Let's zoom in on this just a tad. Looks like we're losing quite a bit here, actually. And I may need to go back. Oh, goodness gracious, I keep using the wrong brush. I may need to go back and make sure that this bump here wasn't... I think we were waiting for this bump, so I think we're fine. But also, if you just heard a weird rumbly sound, it was this dragging across the couch. I just pulled it up. Okay, so let's take away from the tree here. Cool. Alright, let's zoom back out a little, and let's let this go through. Alright, this is looking good so far. So now we're in the part that we don't want. We do not want this crap, because this is where our new clip is supposed to come in. So this is why I wanted to play it in reverse. I could highlight this section first. Obviously, it grabs your first section pretty easy, and you can hit play. It'll play through, and it understands. Okay, so as the border gets pulled in, we keep moving. So if I had done that in reverse, with the clip in reverse, I could have highlighted all of that. It could have got it, and then I hit invert on my mask, and then that part gets deleted. And then when I put it back in Premiere, I just turn it back around, and perfect. But now what we're going to have to do is go clip by clip and make sure we get everything kind of deleted here. We can try to hit play and hope that it kind of catches on to what we're doing, but we're going to get a little bit of that there, like what happened. So option, let's pull that out. And we want this out too. Actually, that's not... Oh, crap. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to add it in. That's not the biggest deal in the world, because this is going to have the actual clip on it as well. So anything that's missing from here, because the identical clip is going to be below it, it's not going to show. So let's just check this out. We got a clip here. Let's get rid of that. And then we just need to wait for our tree to be completely off the screen. Basically, actually not basically, literally what we're doing here is creating our own transition. So I'm stupid. Bruh, I'm dumb, bro. I meant to be adding in this, we need the tree. Alright, my bad. We need the tree in here, because the tree is going to be dragging across the whole clip. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. The tree is going to be dragging across the whole clip, so we need it in here. So let's get that figured out real fast. Alright, that's a lot better than it was. Let's kind of pull you in a little bit. Pull you in a little here, it looks like. Yeah. Good. Good, good, good. Thank you, Adobe, for working with me. Alright, perfect. So let's just hit play. Let's let it do its thing to get the tree out of there so that we can... Awesome. Go back and add the tree in. So we got our tree, got our tree, got our tree, got our tree, and now we don't have a tree. So let's go. Let's start right here, honestly. No, that's not true. Let's start right here. Is that going to be the first clip? Yep. So we're going to drag down and add. Alright, well, I appreciate the effort there, but I need the whole thing added. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I was cutting off the tree at the wrong spot. I knew there was something that felt weird about it, but that's what I was doing. This is why it would have been way easier to do it in Premiere, because I already knew what to do. Not that I don't know what to do in this, but sometimes trying to work the same as the AI tools can be a little bit confusing. But now we've established our tree. We've already established our background doesn't need to be in it. So hopefully the AI tools can jump on to the same thought process as us, make it work well. So let's get rid of some of this extra. Yeah, look, looks like it's doing a pretty great job so far. Let's add you in. But basically, our purpose for this was to get the second half of the video pulled out. When we have that done, we'll get our clip of the next location that they worked in, and then it'll transition straight to it. I also have an idea for a transition with leaves. I was going to go outside and take a picture of a couple that we have like laying in my yard, and because they blow the leaves toward the camera at one time, and I was thinking I can use one of my digital ones that I have, rotoscope it out, not digital ones, but take a picture of one and use it as a digital transition, basically the same, literally the same way as this. I keep saying basically, but it's literally the same as this, except I would just it would be an asset that I brought in, not something that was straight on the job. So all right, so if you look over here on our left, you can see that clearly now we have the tree in it for most of the shot. We have everything to the right of the tree in, and then everything to the left of the tree, including the tree, goes away. So that is perfect. That's exactly what we need. I could have cut the clip here when I was exporting it, and I should have, because now it's about half the clip I still have to export, and it just, I could have taken a little bit of a load off of After Effects with that. So be mindful of that. If you can help your computer and help yourself in any way to kind of take some of that time away that it's going to be using to load things or whatever, it's a good idea. So let's get this into here. I want it under LUTs, Thomas, no, not LUTs, Lincolnton, and then VFX, and sequence 1 is what it was called. Now we're going to do tree transition. Save it and render it. Now we got what we needed. And you might have noticed that the tree was black in that one part because we had originally cut out the tree as well. It's okay because we've got oh goodness, what's it called? It's alright because we've got the other clip that's identical underneath it before our transition point. So we should be able to skate around that reasonably. Alright, let's cut into this real quick. Let's turn our editor back on. I'm going to go ahead and shut off After Effects because we are done with it for now. What happened to After Effects? I used it like yesterday and it was fine. Now it's kind of being stubborn. Let's get in here real quick and alright, hide the Mac OS screen thing. Now we got all that out of the way. Alright, back to Premiere. We can drag in our clip, tree transition. I just found it in the folder that I saved it in. Drop it here. Drag it up to this. Now, what is that lined up with? It looks like it's lined up with, yeah, it was lined up with the clip and not our in and out point, so that's important to keep it on the in and out point. Alright, let's hide the DJI, and right here, ooh, I got lucky. They change as soon as we need it to. So let's make it a little easier on our renderer. Render on our export later. So we've got tree, nothing, tree, nothing, tree, nothing, tree, nothing. Oh, yo, look at that leaf right there. It's like dancing. It's cool. I guess the mouse is on it. That's so trippy. It looks like bullet time because it's like moving and that's sick. Oh, that's so cool. Anyways, let's grab our other. Thankfully, we got that done. So let's grab our other clips here. Let's kind of look through, see what we want to use. So this is still the first location. This is also the first location. So this is their work truck. So blowing the leaves on it, not a big deal. It doesn't show that it's their work truck if you can't see the trailer. So I want to keep that in mind because if somebody sees that and they think they're just blowing leaves into a truck, that does not look good for their business. So, because people, you know, they're going to be worried about their paint. They're going to be upset. So we don't want to give that impression. We got this shot here. What does the rest of the shot look like? Looks like they were finished up. So, I wanted to get this shot of them climbing and going in. So we'll go here. We'll start it there. No. That's the more interesting part of the drone. Okay, and then I hit the tree. That's the more interesting part of the drone movement, but it doesn't really work out with. Oh, there's me. It doesn't really work out with what we wanted from it, so I'm not gonna go with that actually. But maybe this clip works. Nah. All right, let's see. So they're both climbing up, climbing up, climbing up. All right, how is it from here? So I think that's actually kind of cool. They're not working yet, but we've got all of the leaves and stuff. It actually looks pretty sick. Like, you know, they're the leaf guys. They're here to trim it up, and we want to make it look somewhat like epic. So let's do that. We gotta, of course, do our 178. And there we go. So we've got that there. Let's get this shot lined up a little bit better. So let's go there. And then looks like we're gonna have to keyframe a bit. Do that. Skate through it. We can definitely cut it by then, but let's go to like right there. So let's see what that looks like, kind of. And let's see, where were we gonna cut it? Right here? Is that right? Yep. Pop. All right. Yeah. All right, I'm cool with that. Goodness gracious, I wish my knees and hips were not dying at the moment, but I'm cool with that. So, not the hips and knees dying part, but this part. So I'm cool with how that looks there. And right now, even though we're doing quite a bit on this is still just our, like, first off, we're going to about 30 seconds. That's where we're kind of aiming for. Under 30 seconds is fine, but we're aiming for about 30 seconds. So we're really only halfway through. So we've got plenty of shots to use, but also, like, we're doing a lot right now with just the masking, just kind of trying to add a little bit of pizzazz and stuff to it. But we're gonna do a we're gonna do some more like detailed stuff later. So yeah, anyways, let's jump into this shot here, see what this has got. So we've got him kind of blowing off the leaves, some water collecting up there, that's not good. But there we go. So that's a sweet and simple shot. It stops very quick, and so that's good for a fast-paced kind of edit like this. So right about there, I think is right. So and then cut. Yeah, honestly, let's cut it when he's like right after he's blown that stuff off for the last time, right there. Oh, okay. So that was actually extra. Oh well, whatever. Is that the right? Am I grabbing the right one? I think I am. So let's go here. So another way that we can help our thing a little bit. Let's take this and let's go to where it was last used. Okay, it's in the frame, 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 gone. So let's go 2 frames beyond that and trim. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. Alright. So now we've got this shot the whole time. We've got this here. Siri just turned on, I don't know why. Alright. 178. There we go. Let's see. I want to cut on this. We don't need this long of this shot. So we're going to cut there. Go back to this shot. Same shot. And see what else was in it. Because I think there was some more stuff in it. So he's crawling down. He's kind of getting some more stuff cleaned out. Let's go back. Let's go to this shot. Alright. So we've got our leaves from the trees. We got them kind of blowing the leaves off the roof here. This was, I was trying to get kind of behind them, get a different angle. Yeah, and I kind of missed it trying to get the settings ready. But, alright. Oh yeah, and then I crashed the drone. Okay, so there's a certain shot that I'm not sure where. Did they go back up? They must have gone back up. Did they? Because where is... Oh, yeah. Right? Are they up on the roof? They are not up on the roof. Where the heck is my roof shot? Alright. Because I know I got this really cool shot where they were blowing all those leaves off into this section that you see right here in the front yard. And I just need to find it. Where is it? Unless something happened when I crashed it. Bro. Is it in this? It might be in this. I do like this though. Ooh, I forgot we got some slow-mo. I can do slow-mo. I forgot about that. I would do that in the leaf shot if I can find the darn thing. Because it was a cool shot. It was a really cool shot, actually. But I'm not finding it. I hope it's not, like, gone. I'm gonna be super upset. Alright, let's play through that real quick. Let's have it kind of shift over to this guy here. Alright, and I don't want it to end quite yet, so let's have it just move ever so slightly. Yeah, I think that gives it a little bit of an organic kind of feeling, right? No? So let's go to this and let's back it up. What is this at? 803. Oh well, yeah, duh. So let's take it to there. And let's take this to, how's that? I don't know what I was expecting there. I was kind of trying to reverse engineer the way that it was doing its thing. Maybe that did it? Alright, now let's go to our next shot. Let's look for that stupid leaf shot, because if I don't have that, I'm going to be so upset. I mean, it's totally possible that something happened while I was flying and I didn't get it, but I like that shot. That's a good one. Kind of through everything. There's a lot of good shots in this particular spot because we got a lot of parallax. Because all the trees. But, my goodness. Did I really not... Bro! Y'all are going to watch me go crazy trying to find this shot. Alright, this looks like all the leaves are gone, right? No leaves, clearly. Leaves, bro! Unless they're right here, unless this is the shot. Because that's exactly how I had it lined up. Oh my gosh. That's exactly how I had it lined up. So let's see. Come on now. Blow them leaves. Bruh. No, dude, it must not be there. Holy crap. Dude. And I know what happened, I think. I think I was so focused on the drone flying around that tree, and I was doing good flying. Like, honestly, I remember shooting it, and I was like, that was good movement. And it looks like that's what happened. Looks like I got occupied with how I was operating. That is definitely a minus of being a one-man team. You know? Sometimes that happens. Dang. I mean, it's not going to make or break the video. I've got other choices. Clearly, I'm using one right now. But it was kind of a wish list shot for me because I kind of got exactly what I wanted out of that shot. And obviously, it's gone. So that's a bummer. It'll probably be like tomorrow, and I'll be like looking through these shots, and I'll realize I actually have it. But all right, let's try and find a good. Yeah, right there. This is what I was gonna use as a transition too, but not this particular shot. The one that I'm wishing I had. So that's why I'm a little bummed, but. Let's go to right there. I want them in the shot, not just leaves flying. I want them working. So coming around that corner, you've got them on the blower, so that's good. Okay, and that kind of worked out perfect to stop at the right spot. Darn, I can't believe I missed that. I'm so bummed about that. Because it would be between these two shots right here. So that's a big bummer. A very big bummer. Anyways, we just hit the 15 second mark. So we've obviously done a lot so far in creating kind of what we wanted here. Is there a lot more that we could do? Yeah, definitely. Like, we can definitely do some extra stuff, but what we're gonna do right now is just kind of make sure that everything we've got is going together smooth, and we're getting some good movement and good things like that. So like right here, pretty good. We got the house. So we've got, I mean, so many leaves. This is a really good representation of what they're offering. Now I am kind of looking at this through the lens of like a wider shot, but we don't have that luxury right now, so let's honestly shoot with something like this. And I think that's going to give us more of what we need. So let's do that. Let's drag this over. Okay, now drag it over. There we go, perfect. Drop that in there. And 178, of course. All right, and let's see what we get here. All right. We can do, let's do some scale and position keyframes. Move these down to the front. Actually, we'll move them up some. And then here, I'm just going to kind of follow along to there. Follow a little bit more. All right, so now let's see. All right. That is how many seconds? It's 9 seconds. We don't need a 9-second clip in a however many second ad, 30-second ad. So let's do some trimming. I actually really like the beginning and end. So, you know, that's kind of a hard call to make. But maybe on these bigger impacts we can skip like we did at the beginning. So let's do. So doom doom. So this one here, we'll cut. So there, there. Okay. I think we're doing it on the longer. Yeah. So let's see what we can get out of that. I kind of did this in a weird way, but we're gonna, let's see. So yeah, see, I did this in a weird way. Let's get rid of my cuts on some of these other things. What I should have been doing is placing markers. We'll do that. We'll do this. Oh, wrong one actually. We want this one. So cut, then about right there, cut. So V, Command Z actually. Scoot that in, put it there. Right there. Cut. Scoot that in. And right there. Right here. Cut. Scoot it in quite a bit. There. And then that's going to be one as well. Hit C. Zoom that in. And there. So now if we group this together, we should have a significantly shorter runtime. Okay, so that's just giving me the duration of that. Let's do this. Let's nest it. Perfecta, which is not the right perfect for me to say. So we almost cut it in half, basically. So let's check it out. Or not. There we go. That first one looked weird. Okay. I'm okay with that. We'll take notes on that when the video is sent out, and see if it needs to be changed. Because it's not my very favorite, but I don't mind it. So let's that looks like a good shot. There's a lot of work getting done there. Another thing we're gonna add is kind of like titles and stuff, saying, hey, this is what they offer, that kind of thing. So we can do some of that. So he actually blew something he didn't need to blow out there. So we're going to cover that right there. All right. There's a little like garden ornament thing came up out of the ground. So he put that back, obviously, and nothing broke. And even if it had, I'm sure they would have said something. So, you know, it's all fine, but you don't want it in your footage because then it doesn't look good to see someone like hesitate or like looks scrambly. Kind of like this whole stream. Alright, let's cut that in. Next time I should definitely still take my normal camera, because I'm not liking the only drone footage. Because it was just a little bit too fast paced, I feel like, for me flying a drone. I'm not the fastest drone operator. My drone shots are usually fairly coordinated, because of the nature of like trying to get something that's either super cinematic or whatever. So yeah. All right. So obviously we'll go before the drone stopped orbiting. We'll go about right there. That should be fine. That's going to be more than enough space, probably to even close out the video. Ooh, we're close. It's really close. But we might be able to, and then just throw his logo and stuff in there. So let's scoot that over some. Okay, did that end on a beat? Very close. let's do that. Now, is there a better shot we want to end on? There could be, so let's have a look and just kind of check through some stuff. So I don't really like how overexposed this is, even though I do like that kind of crane motion, but I'm probably not going to be going with that. We do get both of them there, so okay, let's try this shot. I kind of forgot I didn't have a hat on. Usually I wear a hat like every single day, but okay, so we have a camera fix there. I don't want that in the shot. Got both of them. We're going the other way. And they stopped because they were done in that little section. Okay, so maybe that's not the greatest shot. Could have been, because it was fairly close up. It had both of them. Maybe this will be good. Okay, yeah. I don't hate that. It is overexposed in some areas. That was the hardest thing about kind of shooting today. Some of the shots were dark, some of them were too bright, some of them were literally both. And that's just from shooting outside. You know, that's how outside shoots are. So we'll go there. Alright, cool. I don't know why I only did it to there. I obviously need to bring it in a lot, but we're going to do that. Kind of see where this is ending. Let's watch this. Maybe I want that there, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, cool with that. So let's drag that to there. Let's apply this default. Alright, and let's, before we do any more effects and things, let's make sure that everything is where we need it to be. And to do that, I like to go ahead and, okay, that's the wrong thing. I like to go ahead and give it a little, first off, let's Command S. I don't think we've done that once. But sequence render into out. That way everything plays as smoothly as I can see it. And it really helps me get a good feel for what I've got done. So let's see. Gosh, this feels like it's been a while. Actually, how long has it been? Oh, an hour and a half to get that much work done. But that's how it goes with editing. It's not the most straightforward thing, and I wasn't exactly sure the kind of shots, so it wasn't super planned out beforehand. Luckily, this is just a free project. It's like I like to do that with businesses. The first time we work together, trying to do a free product or a free project, out of like good faith and kind of get to know each other. Okay, not so bad. I think when we get some fonts and stuff, there's something about it that's not my favorite, but that happens in literally every project I do, so I'm not sure if it's imposter syndrome or if it's just actually my opinion, but not so bad. I think it's a little longer than it should be. just based on what we have to shoot. But um, I don't think it's bad by any means. If we can get, let's maybe, we have a lot of dead space at the bottom of our frame, so we can put in like, leave the logo or name at the bottom maybe. Or we could even like, we could even make it a 4x5. Uh, huh. Do I want to make it a 4x? I don't want to make it a 4x5 because I want it to take up as much space as possible on someone's phone screen. Excuse me, someone's phone screen. Because if this pops up, it's an ad. Let's be honest, it's an ad for a business that doesn't catch your attention quite as well as, um, you know, AI puppies doing parkour, whatever the heck Facebook decides to feed you next. So, uh, I want it to take up space because the more space is taking up on the phone, the less space they have underneath to see AI puppies doing parkour or whatever the heck your feed has on it. So, I think I'm cool with a 9x16. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna kind of cut this here, and I have another project I need to work on a bit. So I'm gonna kind of jump to that project and then come back to this one with some fresh eyes so that I can continue to work on it. That's one thing about editing in a day. A lot of people can. I don't prefer it because I I have to come back to something to be able to see it differently, and that gives me the chance to like appreciate it and enjoy what it is, and then think of different ideas. So I'm gonna jump over on this other project. I'll come back to this one in a little bit and get it kind of buttoned up. We just need to add some of the buzzwords and things like that, and I'll probably do a little bit of rotoscoping, like this shot, for instance. I'll probably throw it into Premiere. I mean, not Premiere, After Effects. Cut Bailey out with his leaf blower, and then put like, leaf blowing or winter driveway salt or whatever. So to kind of like some of the selling points for the business we'll put in a flashy way to keep you looking for the whole 30 seconds, because at the end is where the contact information is going to be, and we need you to stay to that. So yeah, and then of course in our shot we've got the trailer at the very beginning, which is a nice addition to, hey, like, look, we've got this here. So it's immediately moving. We could probably cut it down some, to be honest, and I may do that, but it's the first thing you see is, hey, look, here's the contact info. So that's good too. It is a second. It looks like almost a second and a half, maybe. What is happening? Why is it not moving? Okay, so it's about a second and a half. So we may take some time off of it just to kind of add to the hook. Or maybe we'll put like a hook phrase there and we can track it and put it behind the trailer or behind the logo. So there's all kinds of ideas, and I'm already thinking of some, but when I come back to it is when I'll be able to really like get that fire in and make some good stuff out of it. I think what we've got so far is pretty cool. I think it's pretty good. I think it was a very hard day to film with the drone. I really needed an ND filter or something. But there's some shots in here that really worked out. So I think it's overall pretty good work. And that's all you can really hope for, is that you can make something that you're happy with. And of course that the person you're working with is happy with. So yeah, if you watched any of this, I appreciate it, and I am going to hop off here, jump onto another project.